The K train has left the station. He's playing pro hockey. Tyler Kleven comes in at number 1, 30 games played. He's got 13 points, almost half a point per game at the AHL level, has already played a cup of coffee at each last year and this year at the NHL level when they were dealing with injuries on the back end. I love that he's +8 at the AHL level. I love that he's ripping the pill, 56 shots on goal. And I love that we're starting to see the physicality that made him a hallmark feared player at the NCAA level. Look, he's probably the prospect that we've paid closest attention to because he was with Jake Sanderson and Shane Pinto. Him and Shane Pinto played 1 year together, his freshman year at Nodak when they had all 4 of the Nodak Sens with JBD. But look, did you think Kleven's transition to pro hockey was going to be this smooth?
Yeah, I did, because he had all the pieces to be able to do that. And he had to tone things down in college hockey. Now, I think he's slowly kind of releasing those old habits playing college hockey and starting to get more physical, like you mentioned. He's got the size. He's the type of defenseman that the Ottawa Senators need. They need a physical, strong, shutdown defenseman to play on their bottom pair. And Tyler Kleven, I think as soon as next year, will be ready to do that. And as soon as next year, likely will be the guy on that left spot on the bottom pair for the Ottawa Senators. So I think the fact that he would fill such a void for the Sens decor is the reason why we have him so high. And just, I feel like, Ross, he might be a low ceiling but high floor guy. I think it's easy to predict what kind of guy he's going to be at, but I know maybe you have higher ceiling for him.
I think he's high floor, high ceiling, because I think there's a world where
that's what you want,
where he's a high, like a solid shutdown second pair defenseman, because he's moving the puck a lot better than I thought. Like, look at his point totals as well, Pillsy, is what kind of shocks me. There's only 1 year in college, his final year in college, where he had more points than he has so far in the AHL. His last year where he had 18 points in 35 games, he's already at 13 and 30. Like, he's putting up the offense even better than he did on average in college, which is super impressive as a 21-year-old, now 22 rather. He just turned it last month. But for me, it's like, if he can become, like, think about him when he's 26, 27. He's 6'4". Like, to me, he's going to be a guy that's feared at the NHL level. Like, if he could be the next Anton Volchenkov, I know A-Train, K-Train, but like that to me is kind of the path that he's on right now. But as well as being a modern day defenseman, the points show it as well. Like, this guy can move the puck as well.
Yeah, definitely. I guess maybe it's unfair, Ross, because I'm looking at his potential in the Ottawa Senators system, where I don't see a world where Tyler Kleven is a left shot defenseman on a second pair of a team that has Thomas Chabot, Jake Sanderson, and Jacob Chychrun, right? I don't know how he gets in the mix there. So maybe I'm being unfair and putting his ceiling on top of that bottom pair defenseman. But I wouldn't say that it's impossible for him to overachieve being a bottom pair defenseman. So let me make that clear.
No, I love it. And look, this is the type of player that the Senators need, right?
Yep.
Look at it right now. The way they have Chychrun playing on the right, like, to me, you mentioned it earlier, saying like, oh, could Roby be a guy that's valuable to other teams? Now, I don't know how valuable Eric Branstrom would be, but think about it. If you move Eric Branstrom for a position of need, and then you're able to slide in Tyler Kleven,
exactly.
Like, to me, having Sanderson, Chabot, and then Kleven as your third guy, it just adds a different element. You've got a two-way guy, great skater. You've got another great skater, but a much more offensive-minded defenseman in Chabot. Here's your play killer. Here's your guy that Mark Mathot would say puts out fires. But like, I love the fact that he's playing, and I hope he continues to play the rest of the season in Belleville, because this is great pro experience for him, and he'll step in and be a menace. I know he's played 13, 14 NHL games, but next season for me is where Tyler Kleven's really going to thrive as an NHLer. Look, I know that people choked when it moved up because, look, the Leafs got 2 Euros that, oh my God, these guys, they're so silky. Well, Tyler Kleven, his development has been pretty linear, just straight up ever since the draft. And he's come a long way, and I'm excited to see what's next. So Tyler Kleven comes in at number 1 on our list of top 10 Sens prospects.
Yep, the top dog, the K-Train.